With Jim Ryan's departure from PlayStation, could brighter days be ahead for the Blue brand? Let's break this all down. Up next. What up guys, this is Kalo and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video and welcome to the Level Up. So yesterday we did cover the news that Jim Ryan is stepping down from his top position at SIE. And just in case you missed it, this is what he had to say. After 30 years, I have made the decision to retire from SIE in March of 2024. I've relished the opportunity to have a job I love in a very special company, working with great people and incredible partners. But I found it increasingly difficult to reconcile living in Europe and working in North America. I will leave having privilege to work on products that have touched millions of lives across the world. PlayStation will always be part of my life. And I feel more optimistic than ever about the future of SIE. I want to thank Yoshida-san for placing so much trust in me and being an incredibly sensitive and supportive leader. Contrary to popular belief, before I ever owned an Xbox, I was strictly on PlayStation. I just had this close bond with franchises like the Jak and Daxter franchise and games like Sly Cooper. And the PS2 was the console where I played one of, if not my favorite Star Wars game of all time, being Star Wars Battlefront 2. But before I stroll down memory lane here, I want to talk today as to why this post-Jim Ryan era could be exactly what the doctor ordered for PlayStation. And I'm going to be speaking from more of a consumer standpoint here, seeing how I do purchase PlayStation games and consoles, and I think it's the best news PlayStation fans have gotten in a very long time. PlayStation, like I mentioned earlier, has a deep back catalog of hollowed franchises that have laid dormant, like the Jak franchise, for so long under Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan even went as far to say he doesn't understand why fans want these older games because they look terrible and they should just stay in the past. But the PlayStation brand recognition within the gaming space is at an all-time high. And that's because the PS4 was such a great console that had such a great lineup of console exclusives. But let's not get things twisted here, because that wasn't a Jim Ryan console. That console was released under Sean Layton. And most of the games that are being released today were ones that were greenlit under Layton, because all of these AAA games take about 5 to 7 years to even get across the finish line. And that's only if everything goes smoothly, which it never really does. And anything that was greenlit under Jim Ryan within, let's just say, the past 2 years, we won't see for a very long time. But where is that sheer excitement that people normally have around their favorite console makers and their newest releases? Under Jim Ryan, all I've seen were increased prices to games and consoles, charging people for upgrades, and his supposed roadmap for the future is one that is built off of live service games, which we all know everyone always loves those style of games. Now, regardless of all that, I still think the PS5 is going to sell as well as it is, with or without Jim Ryan at the helm for PlayStation. Because again, they really have strong brand recognition. But right now, a new leader for PlayStation would be the best thing for them moving forward. Jim Ryan, at least in my opinion, was more of a corporate entity, rather than someone who was just focused on games. A gamer, if you will. Sorry, I just hate using that term. I just can't help but think there's a better strategy out there. And I just can't help but think, and this is for a lack of better terms here, PlayStation is just kind of throwing all the crap at the wall and just seeing what sticks. Live service games have been proven all around the gaming industry to be very, very risky. Instead of funneling all their resources into those games, PlayStation should be reinvesting into games that got them on the map. Those big, expensive single-player games that we all know and love. But with all that being said, I'm going to pass this question off to you guys. What do you make of the future for PlayStation post Jim Ryan? I think there's nothing but good ahead for PlayStation, but again, this all hinges on who they hire next. But that about does it here. I've been Kalo. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.